here, and I'm gonna give everybody time to get in so we can get this cracking. Cause I don't think nobody wanna miss this. In case you didn't know, this is a live chat. As I'm driving, I got this information from a very reliable source, an anonymous source. Now, nobody I don't think has ever reported on it, but I'm gonna let you know right now so you can base your own opinion. I just got the message as I'm driving, and I'm going live. Listen, I just got a word that the OKC Thunder, the basketball team, the reason why they're having such a poor season and a poor record and why they're playing on the court so badly may not be because the team is just bad. It's because these guys are having gambling problems. I've been told on the team playing, these guys are gambling like crazy with cards, dice, whatever they got. The team members are on the plane, on the private planes, are gambling like crazy. They're betting pocket money, and it's going outside of the pocket money. And people are trying to remember how much they owe certain players instead of actually focusing on basketball. Russell Westbrook is just as competitive in gambling as he is on the basketball court. There was almost a team fight on the plane over gambling. There are certain players that don't even talk to each other due to a card game that happened on the plane. And Coach Billy Donovan has no control over Russell Westbrook, who cussed him out on the plane about a gambling incident. Trust me, my source is very reliable. And he's not even on the team. But one thing you should know, all these players talk. They're all in cahoots with each other. They all have friends on other teams. And they talk. So somebody on that team or somebody on that plane Okay, we're back. As the message was told to me, I'll wait till everybody come back because they clipped the live. And what they did was show me a screen that's showing that everybody was on, but they really wasn't. What they did was give me a screen to make it look like I was still recording, but they had clipped me. So all the time I'm thinking I'm on, I'm off. Until somebody popped up there saying, oh, he ain't online no more. But in the actual message, it says and states, of course they do. They don't want y'all to know the truth about nothing. If somebody's telling you the truth, every time I'm telling you the truth, what do you see they do to my live? They cut it off mysteriously. They take it all the way down. Can nobody find it no more? All they doing right now, too many people had that link. They start chopping it down. The message said the OKC Thunder. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know how much, like who owes who what. Like who or how many was gambling, how. All I know is the big three is involved. That's prominent. The big three is involved in this gambling. And then in the text message it actually says this. They argue more about losing card games than actual basketball games. They argue more over card games than basketball games. To me, that was a blow. I never had no intentions of making this video. I'm just driving. And I get hit with this information while I'm driving. I'm like, well, I gotta go live. Because somebody else might get it and pop it out there. So, in case you just got here on the live chat, the OKC Thunder, I just received news from a very credible source. It's anonymous. And they told me that the OKC Thunder, they're not shocked about their record because they care more about gambling than they do about the basketball games. That they're gambling on their team flights everywhere they go, playing cards, dice, whatever. And it goes from pocket money to outside money where people got to remember who owe who what. There have been arguments over card games. Russell Westbrook is just as competitive in the card game as he is on the basketball court. And you say you don't believe it? Hey, I'm just telling you what I heard. I'm driving. So as soon as I heard it, I'm like, okay. So I'll let y'all make the campfire lies. That's word around the campfire right now. Well, this person is very reliable. So if it was from like anybody else, like a fan came up and said, my buddy told me, nah, this is a very reliable source. Believe me, there's a lot of players on teams that talk to other players on other teams. Some players on that team probably not happy about that. They don't like the circumstances, and they probably was sharing that information, and a lot of people know about it already throughout the league. Believe me, if he knows, the league knows. It should have no effect on their basketball game. True. And it might not. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying what they told me. They care more about the losses in the card game do they care about the basketball game. And Russell Westbrook is the leader. He's supposed to be the leader. It's Russ's team. But they care more about card games than basketball games. He's like, the only time they was really focused on a basketball game was the Golden State Warriors game. And ever since then, that was like the championship for them. They went back in chill mode. Like, we did it. We beat it. We finally beat Golden State. We ready. And then just shut down. Well, PG-13, he's been the one sucking it up. It ain't about where he want to be. he's sucking it up because I told you guys he was a bum. I told you he was a bum before he got there. I told you this should fit him perfect so he don't have to be the main guy, because the Lakers wanting to get him is like retarded to me. Why they want to get him? He's a bum. He's only gonna choke. Don't put no pressure on him. Oh, believe me, my sources are very reliable. Like, my source, we got information that ain't even out yet. But since you guys on my live chat, I'm going to tell y'all right now on the live chat. I'm going to tell y'all a little later, though, on the live. But I'm going to tell y'all something that only insiders know. But they're going to get LeBron James. If you're the Lakers, that's who you get, because he's going to get all the headlines. He's going to get all the press. Now you got Lonzo Ball and LeBron on the same team. You got two headline grabbers. You got the LA attention. LeBron will be happy. His wife will be happy because he spends more time in California than he does in Ohio. Well, I guess if he's playing with LeBron, yeah. But then what you doing is you just risk your team for what, a 2-year project? 3-year project? You just gonna destroy the future of your team? The Lakers got a nucleus that could actually be good. They're surprisingly great. I told people about Ingram last season. I said, watch Ingram this year. This year he gonna blow up. That's why they let D'Angelo go, because D'Angelo's lazy. You let him go. But here's the situation. I'm gonna look more into this to see if anybody else has reported about this. Y'all can do it too. And I want y'all to do it, is to see what's going on with the OKC situation, see how real it is. I'm not even gonna be around a PC, so I ain't got time to really like look into it and do all this and that. Y'all can look into it and tell me what you find. But as promised, I told y'all I was gonna let y'all know some information to let you know my source is legit. My source was the first person to tell anybody about Scottie Pippen and Futures messing around. He was right about that before it even came out. Before TMZ had it, he had it. Before anybody had that information, he had it. And here's another thing that never came out. Drake was the first one to tear that up. And nobody ever knew about Drake. Future the one that got caught, but Drake was the first one to tear it up. Nobody ever knew it. So only my live chat, y'all the first ones to hear about it. TMZ don't even have that. Nobody had that. Y'all got it. Because y'all in the live chat. I need some really big rings. I'm doing some really big things. I got a really big team. Yeah, you right. I almost hit this truck. Good thing you said keep your eyes on the road. I can't have that. Oh. This idiot trying to fix his car on the shoulder. He gonna pop his door open. I mean, he opened his door like he was like in an open parking lot by itself. Dude, you on the expressway. You gonna lose your door. You gonna be down the street with your door. You gonna be, man, where's that breeze coming from? You gonna be like, whoa, I'm off my feet, I'm flying. With a car door in my hand. Oh, in case you guys just got here, we'll recap for you. I just got from a reliable source in a text message that the OKC Thunder have a gambling problem on the plane. That they're gambling cards, dice, whatever they can, and they owing each other money, and they're arguing over that more than they caring about the basketball game. And that person thinks that that's having an effect on the court. So I don't know if somebody owe people money and all this and that, but that's where we at. And in the direct message in the cap said they care more about losing card games than they do about actually winning basketball games. He said the only game they got focused for was Golden State. Other than that, they not focused. They just out there going through the motions. And they headed on the plane so they can go gamble. I know, it's horrible, isn't it? I mean, no, they've been team fights on the plane over card games. Arguments, crazy stuff. And then sometimes it's peaceful on the plane, but other times it's not. So, but I don't know who owed who what, how much, all that stuff, I don't know. I didn't get that information. I just went live as soon as I got it. So you guys can make your own decision. And start investigating. I'm not at home and not gonna be at home. You know, it's another Star Wars night. So it's gonna be Star Wars probably all weekend. So I don't know where we going to be as far as going to the events or everything else. Yeah, I'm interested too. I'm like, man, believe me, if my buddy got this information, it's a very reliable source. He's anonymous, but he's very reliable. Very reliable. That's why I say anybody else, I wouldn't have said nothing. I would have just clarified it as a rumor. But when I say breaking news, yeah, it's because of him. I can say breaking news with him. He ain't gonna let me down. I can guarantee you that. I don't know how Mark Jackson will be about gambling on the plane, but he definitely told me like the big three is involved and the gambling. How do I know he's not lying this time? Why would he be lying? He has nothing to do with OKC. Absolutely nothing to do with OKC. He can care less about what happens to that team. But does this guy work in the NBA? My source, he is in the NBA. Let's just say that. That players on OKC, they might know who he is, might not. I don't know about that. I can't really recall, but there's a lot of players in the NBA that know him, and he's very well respected throughout the NBA. Through some of the players that know him. I'm not gonna say all of them know him. Yep, I understand, Kenneth. Thanks, Keith Murray. I appreciate it. Good looking out. Thanks for the super chat donation. Yeah, I don't know. The way they playing, it looked like Paul George the one owes somebody some money. And Melo gonna be like, look, man, you get paid, man. I want all my money. And they arguing over who they... What do I think of Dr. J? Dr. J was great. I mean, he the one made the basketball. He saved the NBA, basically. Because the ABA was destroying the NBA. See, people don't realize that the NBA was a corny league. The ABA, everybody flying, dunking. You had all the brothers in there getting down. They was like, man, Dr. J, David Thompson, all them dudes, they putting on shows. Nobody cared about watching the boring old NBA. He saved the NBA. When they bought the ABA out and brought all those players over with Dr. J, who was the best player in the ABA, the biggest face, everything. When they brought him on into the NBA, that saved him because people wanted to see Doc. Yep, it was no dunking in the NBA. See, that's what you guys don't realize. All of these rules they originally made was so that they can keep Europeans or whites in the game. There was no dunking rule because mostly whites didn't dunk. Once that got dissolved, they needed a way to keep them in because they figured white people could shoot, black people can't shoot. So now black people can shoot. All right, what are we gonna do now? Zone defense. That's because white guys are considered slow and can't guard all these athletic black guys. They need help. So let's make a zone defense so it can help keep the white guys into the game. That's what the NBA has done throughout the years. They're always going to make the rules so where something's got to be done where they can fix it so that it could be a balance. So it don't have to be all black and all white. They want a complete balance of everything that's going on. These are just actual facts of the game. I could see that happening. Don't forget, hit the super chat button. Make a donation. It's Friday. Nah, it's more than 15. See, the thing is, they couldn't find any. Happy birthday, Mr. Sean David Madison. My birthday was 2 days ago. See, here's the scenario that a lot of people don't really get or understand about the whole thing in general. Most white guys in America are not training to go to the NBA because it's very hard if you're a white guy trying to go to the NBA in college. Because one, it's going to be hard for you, period, on a team. Look at the players on Duke. How many of those white guys going to the NBA that play on Duke? Before that, it didn't used to be the problem. Like, those are the known basketball schools, and they have skills, like actual basketball knowledge. But not a lot of them are going to the league. North Carolina guys, how many of them? That used to be the biggest farm school. That's why they're using European players, the white guys from overseas. How many white guys from the NBA are from overseas? There are tons. So the white guys that they're getting are coming from overseas. Why? That's why the game is played the way it is. The Euro step. You know, they're playing European basketball, which is basically up pace, tempo, lack of defense type of style of play. So when the Olympics came around, this is why the Dream Team used to destroy. Dream Team 1, this is how they destroyed the entire Euro League and was beating them by 40, 50 points because they didn't play defense. The Europeans didn't know anything about back screens and cuts and all this other. They knew flowing offense. The other team let you flow through your offense. They didn't try to contest or block your shot like that. They not stepping up to play you physically. Nobody comes pick somebody up from half court. They wait by the three-point line for you. If you hit, that's a good shot. We're going to come down and score, and whoever has the highest score at the end of the game, that's the winner. Oh, no, they ain't play that style. Even though that's the style now, they didn't play that. Now the game has turned into a Euro League. Why? Because now more Europeans can come here. It's more of an international game. So they're not going to go back to the ways of playing defense and playing hard and all that stuff. The teams that are allowed to play like that are golden there, and they can score. So they're entertaining. So they transcend the league. So you're not going to put clamps on them for playing defense. But is there a better defensive team than Minnesota? Probably. Minnesota play defense, but they'll never get the attention. Jimmy Butler plays defense up and down the court. He's trying to get those guys implemented into playing. Like Wiggins is so great offensively, but he wants him to be more sturdy on the D. No, the Thunder don't play defense at all. I mean, you got a guy in Adams should average a double-double every day. There's no way Grizzly Adams can't be scoring the way he out there scoring. It makes no sense. Adams is too good to let something like that happen. With his size, I mean, they had small lineups. That's how Indiana lost. They had a small lineup in there, and they had nobody to guard Adams. Paul George didn't do nothing. They did their job there. He was like 2 for 13. Hey, thanks for the donation, bro. I appreciate that. Of course, the San Antonio Spurs were the first ones to really have successful, bringing in the Euros. Portland did it. The West Coast is where they normally started really running with it. The West, we remember Marshallonis, Shaprinis Marshallonis, and Drazen Petrovic, before he tragically died in a car crash. And right now, there's some guys that could actually play, but the scouting reports say, oh, he's too slow, he can't play. And former NBA players who were white guys like Mark Price, Chris Mullin, they went through the same things. People said they sucked. Oh, he's a good college player, but he's not going to make it in the pro. Don't put your stock in him. That's what they said. Don't put your stock in him. Oh, I wouldn't put my stock in him. He's not going to make it. He's too slow. These guys, he can't jump. Craig Elo, Mark Price, those guys are winning 50, 60 games a year. They could play. Now you got these guys, white guys in college who's like, look, man, I could play. I'm not slow. I could actually play basketball, and they want to play, and they don't get a fair shot. And when the draft comes, they don't get a fair shot from the colleges, and it starts at the collegiate level. So they got to work 3 times as hard to try to make things work. And this is the same thing I told people about the New England Patriots when they played the Atlanta Falcons. When they was like, man, the Patriots got all them white boys. Them white boys ain't gonna be able to run with them brothers out there, boy, from Atlanta. Them boys is fast. I said, dude, do you realize how many wide receivers are white in the NFL? If you see a white wide receiver on the NFL field, respect him. Because he had to go through hell to get that job. Do you realize that? Believe me, if he's on that team, he can run. He can fly. Because right now, it's easy to grab a brother with speed. You find a white guy with speed, believe me, he had to bust his ass to be there. So you better give him his credit and his just due. And at the end of that Super Bowl game, who was kicking all the butt? The white guys. The white guys was running, and the brothers was tired. They was eating too much McDonald's. They out there, these white boys fast. Yeah. See, but now it's too late. You learn that lesson too late. You take people for granted, and it gets in your mind, but you got to realize they're football players. No, they believe in everybody better do their job. They believe in consequences over there. Ain't no pat on the back. If you miss a pass in New England, you might not get another one. You might be out the league. That's how they play. They play everything to the chest, and I like it. So anyway, thank you all. I appreciate all of you. It's Star Wars time again. Last Jedi. Go check it out. Quite sure you'll enjoy it. It's your boy Carcino. I'm gone.